Hello, Estupido. Today we are going to start with the chapter parts of the body, and in that we are going to learn about the bones in the body. So let's jump on. I hope you may love this video as I have made this all interesting along with the visuals. Okay, let's look into the main parts of the body. Let's see. Oh, so this is the video that I have put in this so that you may understand the importance of the bone. We are seeing a dancing skeleton, and this is because we shall understand that why we are able to move or dance, right? So this is because of the joints within the body, and we'll learn in this chapter how this is interconnected with each other. So let's move on to the next slide. Let's have a look on the bones, how they are settled in our body. So here you are looking at the whole skeleton inside our body, how they support our muscles. So this is how it looks like inside the body, right? So let's see. One more thing that I like to discuss here is the bones gives us shape, and this is how the formation of the bones gives us shape. Okay, so let's have a look for the different organisms also. We'll see it later on. The skeletal system first is what? Is a framework of bones that gives shape and support to our body. See how. So this is a dog, this is a bat, and this is an owl. So these are all having different structures as you can see, and so is why they have different shapes of the body, so that the muscles are having different shapes just because of the skeletons, right? So now you got it. So this is a enjoyment sign that you enjoy. Okay, fine, so let's move on. Next, moving on to the upper body. So here we have skull, in which a brain is hidden behind, the collarbone here, that is the shoulder bone, and this is the sternum where the ribs are joined, right? So we'll study what is the function of this. Okay, first things first, skull. Skull is made up of 8 flat bones that are interlocked to each other. So they are immovable bones. Okay? Bones, okay? So they don't move here and there, right? In our skull, all the bones are fixed except for the lower jaw, which can move. And that is why we can eat, talk, and do a lot more things. See, this is the backbone, right? So we'll discuss it later what all these things are. So you should understand first. So these are all vertebrae that we'll discuss later on, and this is what the backbone looks like. So moving on to the next. Okay, here comes the rib cage. Now here you can see this is a type of cage. That is why we call it rib cage. You can see it here. So what is the main function of the rib cage? Any clue? If not, then we can see further. Rib cage, 12 pairs of thin curved bones called ribs from a cage-like structure called the rib cage. The rib cage protects our heart and the lungs, the parts which are inside this. So this gives us a natural protection so that our delicate organs may not get hurt. So these are some of the organs that I have placed inside this, and these ribs protect these. Okay, so now you might have got an idea. So don't you dance like this. Still, we have got a lot to go. Okay, the skeletal system performs several vital functions essential for life. How? Shape and support. Obviously, we discussed it. It provides primary framework that gives the body its distinct shape and support its weight against the gravity, as we discussed for the bat, the dog, and the owl also. Protection. It acts as a natural shield of soft internal organs because these are vital organs important for us to live. So it protects it. Body cell formation. Within the long bones lies a soft spongy substance called the bone marrow. We have seen, right? Let me scroll it behind. Okay, where, yeah, here, see, right here you are looking, this is a bone and this is protecting the spongy here, right? So what we call it, again moving on to the next ones, right? Spongy substance called bone marrow. This tissue is responsible for forming the body red cells. Obviously this is in the blood. Okay, movement, the skeleton works in direct partnership with the muscular system to enable the movement of the different body parts. So you can note it down and you can pause the video and revise it well. Okay, now here it comes the vertebrae, the backbone. Fine, the backbone is made up of 33 small bones called vertebrae. We just saw it in the video, right? The vertebrae are stacked on the top of each other. See here, I have shown it here also, a little one scrolling around. Each bone has a hole inside in the center through which the spinal cord passes. So these are hollow bones, okay? Next, moving on, bones of the arms, right? The upper bone of the arm is a single bone and it's a long bone that is called humerus. The lower arm is made up of two parts, right? That is ulna, that is the inner part, that is the inner side of the body, and the radius, that is the outer bone that faces away from the body. So these are ulna and radius. Humerus is a single bone. Okay, so this is what we shall skip for now. Now for the leg. So this is the longest part of the body, longest bone of the body, rather I should say. So this is called the femur, this is fibula, this is tibia. So again the lower part, same as in the arm, is present in the leg. This is also made from the two bones, tibia and fibula. So moving on to the next. So these are also the parts of the bone that you may not to cover. Just for the knowledge, I have put the names here. Now, is it jaw dropping? Really? Okay, fine. If you're not bored, we can move on to the next. The limbs. Now we are going to talk about the limbs. First, arms. The arms are joined to the spine by the shoulder blades and collarbones. The upper arm consists of one long bone, the humerus. Just now we saw it. The lower arm is made up of two long bones, the radius and the ulna. The upper and the lower arm sections are connected at the elbow joint. So how these are connected? The arm is connected at the point that is called an elbow joint. The upper leg or the thigh contains the longest and the strongest bone in the body, the femur. The lower leg is composed of two long bones, the tibia and fibula. The upper and the lower leg sections are connected at the knee joint, and in the arm it is elbow, and in the leg it is called the knee joint. So again, joints, right? A joint is the specific location where two or more bones meet. Understood? Good. So, how many types? Movable, immovable, sorry. So, this is fixed joints. These joints do not allow for any movement between the bones they connect. Their primary role is to provide a rigid protective structure. So you have to learn as it is. Okay, fine. Here we can see these ribs, they won't move. These shoulder ones, they don't move, right? So these are immovable. These are fixed joints. Next, movable joints. These joints allow for the free movement of the bone, which is essential for the mobility. So here you can see in the yellow ones, these are all the moving parts, right? These are joints which allow for the movement of the body. We saw the skeleton dancing, right? Now, the type of joints. Here we go. Ball and the socket joint, gliding joint, hinge joint, and pivot joint. So now we are going to study about the ball and the socket joint, right? You can see here the ball and the socket. So here is the ball like bone and this is the socket here. The ball shaped end of one bone fits into the cup. So here it is forming a cup, right? This structure is highly flexible and permits movement in almost all directions, to and fro, and the rotational directions. Example include the shoulder and the hip joints. Here we can see shoulder we have seen, and this is the hip joint. So this is the cup. Here we can see, right? And here it is the socket. You can have a detailed look here, right? So moving on to the next, now we'll study about the gliding point. So in this type of joint, the bones are able to slide past each other. This allows for smooth gliding movements. The gliding joints present between our vertebrae allow us to bend. So this is how we bend our backbone, and we are able to bend down. Examples are ankle, wrist, and vertebrae. We have already seen in this video, right? Even though we may have a look. See, this is a gliding and this is also bending. So this is how the vertebrae looks like, and this is the ankle. Okay. So let's move on to the next. Hinge joint. Now we are going to study about the hinge. How it is. See, this is for the leg, right? This is the knee, and this is the elbow part. So let's see. Pivot joint, right? In the pivot joint, a rod-like bone fits into a ring formed by another bone. So this you have to learn precisely. Here it is, right? The joint between the skull and the first two vertebrae is a pivot joint. So these are the vertebrae moving to the skull. Where it joins, it is called a pivot joint, enabling the head to move from side to side, up and down. These movements are just because of this pivot joint. Here you can say these are also the pivot joints because it allows to and fro and the rotational movement as well, the same as it is here. Okay, now in the next video we are going to learn about the muscular system. Now, movable joints. These joints allow for the free movement of bones, which is essential for mobility. We have already discussed it because we can dance because of this only. Movable